So ethnography is the main thing that we learn and the main thing that we do as part of anthropology. It's when we try to understand how people understand themselves in the way that they explain it to themselves. So we have to take a lot of time to spend with people. We need to take a lot of time getting to know people, getting to know them, getting to know their routines, getting to know what's normal for them. So we get to understand all the things, all the different things that impact upon their life, their everyday life, that might not be so easy to explain because it's so taken for granted. My fieldwork is conducted predominantly in the Everest tourism industry. So the way that I would conduct ethnography is that I work with guides and porters. Going to Everest is really normal for them. It's a weekly, if not monthly occurrence. Whereas for many of us, we think about Everest as a once in a lifetime sort of opportunity. But what I'm trying to understand is how this thing that's so extraordinary to so many of us is so normal to people who work there. Because I'm interested in what guides and porters' lives are like, I pretty much follow what they do day to day on the trek. So I wake up when they wake up, I walk with clients when they walk with clients, we eat together, we socialise together, and the most important thing about this sort of hanging out is that I'm so taken for granted that I'm just part of their normal workday, just being a part of what they do in their everyday. So we can do ethnography anywhere that there's social relationships, because what we're trying to understand as anthropologists is what it means to be human. I might do my fieldwork on Everest, you might do your fieldwork in Australia, you might do your fieldwork with the knitting group that your mum hangs out with, or you can do fieldwork in the city that you grew up in. So we've got a few colleagues who work much more locally, and one of our colleagues who works right here in northern Manchester.
So I conducted ethnographic research in North Manchester, in a place called Harper Hay, with people who are struggling to make ends meet. There's a lot of stigma, and I've been really interested in understanding how people relate and attune to one another. And I think this is one of the most important things that ethnography can do. It involves sort of exploring beyond the surface phenomena. Perhaps you just see the visible markers of poverty in the area or the landscape of abandonment. But beyond that, the human relations that exist there is what ethnographically I've been working with for over a decade now.
Hello.
One of the things we also do in anthropology is we conduct a lot of interviews. If you set up that space with someone, and you ask them questions, the interview provides a space whereby people can speak about things that they wouldn't normally speak about in everyday life. So there's certain techniques in our toolkit as anthropologists, like participant observation, interviewing. We also keep diaries, take a lot of photographs. There's lots of ethnographic documentary filmmaking happening at Manchester. So there's lots of creative ways in which anthropologists engage with others in their ethnographic research.
I'm Jiva and I do the anthropology of outer space. I look at how people build social worlds through any kind of social relationship to space. People have had a relationship to space since the day one of human culture. From you get up in the morning when the sun rises, you use your mobile phone, which uses satellites. Even in this room today, we've angled the camera infrastructure around because the sun is coming through the window. So even in the making of this video, we've been affected by celestial objects. So really we're using space as a heuristic device to think about how people construct social worlds. Okay, for me, ethnography is the basis of the anthropological discipline. It's the empirical details. So in the space industry, that might be with something like working with architects, for example, which is something I do. If you're going to build a home for humanity on the moon, well, what's that home going to look like? Homes all around the world look different. People want to build different social relations, so they build different architectures for that. So when you're saying we're going to build a home for all humanity, what does that look like? So working with architects who have ideas of what a home looks like helps us trace the idea of what our notion of humanity is, what the ideas of the future might actually look like concretely. So one thing that's key in my work is I see anthropology as an opportunity to create new spaces of knowledge exchange, not just between people in the world and the academy, but between people in the world and each other, between a wider public, and have conversations about what things mean. So you can innovate quite widely in anthropology. The key thing is getting at how people build social worlds and why they do it. And anything that helps you get at that is a valid research method.
I'm going to need you to talk about the socks.
I can't remember who gave me the socks. Yeah, the socks.